The Film Crickets are intended for mature audiences. Any guests on the Film Crickets do not necessarily share the same opinions as the Film Crickets.
Film Crickets, chirping about movies.
It's time for the Film Crickets with Jay Fortier, Chris Martineau, and Melanie Howerton. On this week's episode, it's just Jay and Chris, and it's October, and they review another horror film. Jay and Chris review the 1999 American supernatural horror film, The Rage, Carrie 2.
Anyone?
I don't know that I believe in it.
Yes! Very good! A foul cynic, most cliche. A true romantic. How refreshing!
Does it stand the test of time? Let's find out. Your Film Crickets are on now.
Tonight, on a very special Film Crickets, we're going to be discussing topics like self-growing tattoos, misogyny, and inappropriate football coaches.
Yes. It's the worst after-school special ever. Is this fucking movie? Oh my
I was
God.
just thinking of this video came up. By the way, this is the Film Crickets, everybody. My name is Jay Fortier. I'm along with my good friend and co-host, Chris Martineau. How you doing, man?
Hello, what's happening?
And Melanie's off again, but she will be on hopefully for the next episode. We're only doing
great.
two. I know people were probably confused because I got delayed on releasing Tu Wong Fu, and I ended up releasing it in October, and that's normally where we reserve it for horror. No, it's it's a month long of horror. Wait a minute, Tu Wong Fu is not a horror.
Swayze.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
So we're doing two, and if it all works out, then I think we're finally getting to Friday the 13th, Part 8.
Oh, it's been preempted a few times, but we finally get to dig into the
I'm afraid
the masterpiece that
masterpiece.
God.
But so tonight we're talking about a sequel that nobody asked for, The Rage, Carrie 2.
Nope. Yeah,
and it's barely a sequel that needed to include one person, to make it like some sort of sequel. And it's like, that's kind of a stretch.
Loosely binded and has no role in it at all. You know, the problem, one of the many problems with the movie is like, what do we call it? It's Rage, Carrie 2. It should have been called Carrie 2, The Rage. That would have probably made a little more sense. But
except everywhere I read it recently, I see The Rage and then Carrie 2.
Yeah. But it's
not
even
the. Want to make a movie.
It's just Rage. No, it says The Rage. Sorry, I'm looking. It's The Rage. Sorry, Carrie. It's just bad. It's just, oh God, it's just so silly. So, hey, before we get into October, welcome to the spooky season. Let's talk about our history with this movie. Have you heard of it? Did you see it before? And I'd also like to ask your history and opinion of Carrie, the original Brian De Palma. What do you think, Jay?
All right. First, the Part 2. We'll talk about Part 2 first.
Okay.
I don't think I saw it in full. I always saw it I always came upon it like halfway. So I was aware of how it went, roughly, but I kind of forgot. I just remember, it's funny. The one thing that really stuck out in my head was the kid from Home Improvement that always played a bully like every time he wasn't in Home Improvement.
Okay.
You know who I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
Yeah,
remember.
he's the one that sleeps with the girl at the beginning and then pretends she doesn't exist.
Okay,
and then his dad.
You got to narrow that down in this movie, by the way. But okay, yes.
No, his dad represents him.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Yeah, it's like
the original
Zachary Tyler Bryan, I want to say his name is.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, sorry, but
whatever.
No, it's just like he stuck out in my head because like it seems like every time he's in a movie, like they put him in as and he never grew up. Like, and I mean that as a compliment, really. I mean like Daniel LaRusso, like just always looked like I mean today he still looks great. Daniel, Ralph Macchio, and it's just like some people drink from the fountain of youth. Anyways,
sure.
I saw like half of it back in the day, and I was like, why does this exist at all? Why? But no, because like it's like a movie with the movie Carrie is about one woman who ends up dead at the end of the movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of like, why even call it Carrie at all? Like, don't make a sequel to Carrie. You know, nobody's in this called Carrie.
That's true. That's true. You're right.
So,
you're absolutely correct.
I mean, none of it makes any damn sense on why it's there. It's almost like we need to sort of like it'll generate money or interest because it's got a name attached to it. No, I'm just saying.
I know.
I'm not saying it did. I'm saying that's probably what they were thinking.
Sure.
But it's like 20 years after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
So it always worries me. Like sometimes it works, like the Twisters movie. That works.
Sure.
But, you know, this did not. The first, and as far as Carrie itself, I remember seeing it like on Channel 38 or something in our local area with my two brothers in the summer, like when I was very, very young, and didn't even realize that I was watching a horror movie.
Sure.
Because it kind of didn't play like one.
No.
Throughout most of it until the end. You know, like until it really got hot. And then crazy, and you know everything got nuts. That's when it got scary. Like, so of course, then the coda scene with the hand that freaked me the hell out.
Yeah, well, that's the first time that was ever done. You know, so
yes, it was like one of the first
jump
ones.
Scare.
Right?
Yeah, I mean that predates
Friday.
Little Jason jumping out of the water.
That's right, and that's exactly what inspired them.
So, all right. So here's the thing. I knew the movie existed. I kept seeing it probably at the video rental store when I would go there. Never really cared much to actually pick it up. Again, I never saw it, and it's one of those things where why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? But here's the thing, and I know that Carrie's a classic, and I watch a lot of horror movie documentaries, and Carrie keeps coming up. I've never actually sat through the whole thing. Because I remember when I did see it, I mean, you remember the first scene, I don't even know where it is in the movie, but in the scene where Carrie is bullied by the other women in the shower, which is the...
About having her period.
And that's the informs the entire film about her, who she is and what she's all about, and encapsulated in a moment. And then the revenge scene at the end where she finally gets, she's had enough, and the rage, and her telekinesis comes out and all that stuff. And I remember I sat down to watch it, and I just remember a lot of scenes with William Catt in a library and John Travolta getting fitted for a tux but wearing a t-shirt that looked like a tux. And it looks... It's not a real crisp, clear movie. Like 2001: A Space Odyssey is diamond clear. In this movie, I've said it before, it looks like it was shot through a dirty lens. So it didn't look great except for the beginning and the end. So I never really have... In my head, I'm like, I know it's a classic and I know it sets a lot of tone for horror movies to come. I saw the beginning, I saw the end. I don't think I need to see the stuff that goes on in the middle. Like, I don't care. So I never really watched it. Sorry, guys. What's that?
Not to interrupt you, but I would say that sets the table for her losing her freaking mind, because it's not just the stuff falling on her head. Like there's a lot that's leading to that. So like I think it does a good job at setting that reason. And plus the mother.
I'm guessing here it has the same kind of setup where she is Carrie in the original Carrie. There is no Carrie in this Carrie 2. Is obviously kind of an outcast, but she's an outcast because she's awkward and virginal, I would guess, right? But
plus Carrie, her mom is very religious. Like, locked her in a closet with the creepiest looking Jesus I've ever seen.
Right. Yeah.
It's like he's on the cross and his eyes are open.
Yeah. So, I mean, she's got some, and that's King, and that's obviously some baggage that you're setting up for original Carrie. But our Carrie, what's her name in this movie? What's the lead?
Rachel?
What's her?
No,
Rachel? We don't even know, guys. Like,
I forgot.
What is it?
Well, I watched it like 3 days ago, same day as you.
No, I did too. No, I'm not saying Rachel.
Yeah. No. Hey,
look at that. So Rachel, who was our surrogate Carrie in the movie, doesn't. I mean, she's obviously grows up in a foster home. Her mother's crazy, but she's so neo. Like, her outsider-ish is so 1990s. It's because she likes Nine Inch Nails and she likes Marilyn Manson, gets brought up like 3 times. And she's very like over all of it, right? She's one of those. She's like, what's an MTV cartoon with the girl
Daria?
that's over it. Daria, right? Not exactly not the same thing, but the same vibes of the 90s of I'm over all of this, I'm smarter than all of this. I can't deal with these jocks because I've been locked in a closet, but because I'm just goth. You know what I mean? Neo-goth kind of situation, right? So anyhow, so that's my synopsis on that. Let's see what IMDb says about The Rage, Carrie 2. I'll say it again. The Rage, Carrie 2. It came out in 1999, rated R, hour and 44 minutes. A horrible massacre strikes up after it. A horrible massacre strikes up? That's not... What kind of sentence is that? All right, sorry. A horrible massacre strikes up after an outcast teenage girl is taunted by a group of high school jocks, all of them unaware of her cutthroat telekinetic powers. That does not really sum up what the movie is. Directed by Kat Shea and William Mandel. Stephen King gets a writing credit, probably just based on characters, even though he probably had nothing to do with it. And starring Emily Burgle, Jason London, Dylan Bruno, and a bunch of other Zachary Ty Bryan, which you brought up from Home Improvement.
Zachary Tyler Bryan, so it's Ty Bryan. Okay, yeah. I was close.
Ty Bryan. And the only person to be brought over from the original movie, Amy Irving as Sue Snell, kind of trying to make amends for her past, I guess, of being a bully. So that's the movie. So, Jay, well, this movie, what went wrong? What went wrong?
Wait.
It's not good, guys. So let's throw it out there. It's not good. It kind of stinks.
Well, here's the thing.
Why does it stink?
Let me just.
Go ahead.
I want to mention one thing. That is,
sure.
Melanie loves horror so much that we had to we wanted to be nice by not choosing something that she'd be jealous of. Right.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So
she might have telekinesis. We don't know. She might come. I'm like, I will be doing a podcast. My head,
right. My head explodes. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but you know what I mean? I wanted to try to take care of her. Well, she couldn't be here. I wanted to make sure that we watched something that she wasn't going to be all, what the hell? Why would doing that? Because I've gotten that sometimes. I can't believe I can't do that with you or whatever, you know?
Right.
No, just that.
Sure.
But it'd be like,
fair enough.
It'd be like you guys doing 80s trivia, 80s music trivia without me. I'd be like, what are you doing?
True. Good point.
You did that before.
That's in my wheelhouse.
Yeah. So, what went wrong? Well, first off, I mean, everyone in this movie besides the lead role, besides the lead girl, is and her friend, I guess, you know, the one that dies at the beginning. Everyone is despicable. Like they're really all horrible for the most part. Maybe the jock guy, he's nice, like he likes her, but that's it. You know, there's really a couple of people. That's it. Yeah. Everyone else is terrible. I mean, and it takes jocks and puts them like they are the most vile human beings on the planet. And you know, I'm not saying that there was never bad jocks, out there.
Well, it's bad everybody.
But
a lot of people.
These guys start the movie with basically playing a game, sleeping with girls for points, and keeping the tally in a black book.
Right.
It's just
so right out of scumbags. But everybody. Here's the thing. Like everybody, does everyone know about the list? Like the adults don't know. Do the students at the school know about their scoring schema?
I can't imagine they 100% know, because then they wouldn't be able to use anyone unless they were willing.
Good point. Yeah, which they seem to do. Yeah. I agree with that. It just seems like right out of they make them the most vile people possible, and I know the whole point is that eventually we're gonna want to watch them die.
Yeah.
And that's great, but why make them... It's almost you start at a level of scumbaggery so high that we have to watch that for the entire movie. Like, there's no build-up to scumbaggery. Like, it's just right out of the gate, 150% the worst people ever.
You're not fooled.
And so,
if they try to be nice for a second, you're like, no, he's a dick.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And again, it goes. There's so many. And you gave me a tough movie to watch because I teach high school, and so I try to, when I watch movies, I try to not do any movies that involve high school because I don't want to see lockers. I don't want to see student drama and all that nonsense because I have to deal with it all day long. It's not that it's part of the job and it's fine, but I try to use movies as an escape, and it's just like having to watch, like just seeing a locker. And you're the same, like you work at a school, like just seeing a locker makes you go, oh man, lockers. Jesus God. But there's so many, like the high school tropes of the football people rule the world. Like how many movies have we seen where the football team seems to rule the world? Like they get to not only do whatever they want without any consequences, but they get to tell the adults what to do because they play football. They play like 8 games at home a year. Like maybe Texas this happens, but anywhere else, I don't understand that. Yeah, I mean, I know that's a big deal, but to this degree, where like people can be basically being involved in manslaughter and everybody gets off scot-free, like that's shocking to me. So we never, except for the one kid who he's still, so the main hero of this, who does have a heart. He's on the football team, and he does have a heart, and he does genuinely like Rachel, the telekinetic, the Carrie stand-in. He still sleeps with somebody for no reason, right?
Yes.
To get like some points or whatever. And she's into him, even though she knows she's being used. So again, another sexist nonsense in this movie of just like the females have absolutely no agency except for Rachel, who ends up massacring everyone. Like, what is that?
You have to be a goth.
Yeah.
In order to
have any agency to make any decision on your own, you have to be goth. Otherwise, you're just doing whatever the football people say.
Right.
And I hate it. And it made my skin crawl because it's like you had the scene where and we said this. It's an American Pie horror movie. It's an ABC after school, whatever, an after school special from back in the day, where Life and Times of high school. Where when I saw there's a scene where they're in a class, and the football players aren't listening, and our goth girl is listening. It's like English literature. They're talking about literature, right, and motivations of characters and things. And it was part of the clip that you brought up at the beginning, and it shows that the one football guy actually has a heart and actually is a romantic. Right, and the rest of the other football players are just like they're ready to haze at a frat. Like they're already in high school, they're hazing people to be in a frat. But when I saw them sitting, I don't know if he had a Letterman's jacket on, but he probably should have. But he's at a desk without a notebook to be found, spinning a football on the desk. I mean, it's the most tropey high school nonsense ever. Like, yeah, fuck this school thing, man. All I think about is football. And you're just spinning a football on the desk. It's the worst. No one would allow that. There's not a school. You're going to say, put the football away. What are you doing? Nobody allows that. Of course, the teacher obviously has no agency either, because he's just sitting there and he's just talking, and he's going, anyone, But, oh, God, it's just, I don't know.
And it seems like most of the guys, well, at least like the main bully, that plays. I think I know him from NCIS. I don't watch NCIS, but like I had to look up where I've seen him before. And he already looked like he was like in his late 20s.
Sure. Oh yeah. Yep.
And I know that was an 80s thing, which is this is a 90s movie, so apparently they Bill went with that. At least with him. And
why is he like, he's like the consigliere of the scumbags. Like he's like the scumbag godfather. When they have a meeting where they have to like cover up the fact that this original bully, the guy that played the Thai guy, the blonde kid, sleeps with Rachel's friend, who's nice, but then Rachel's friend falls in love with the man that used her, and he said, well, I just used you, so then she kills herself. Right.
And by the way, one second.
Yes.
When she
let's double back because the plot is getting a little weird. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
When she finds out the note, like that or whatever, I think she learns through note.
Yeah.
That he, is knocking her down, saying, "I'm not into you." Does she go to school in Elm Street Land? Because it was the darkest hallway.
Oh yeah.
Ever. Like.
Yep.
like it was black almost, and it was daytime, and I think it was even middle of the day. It wasn't. Oh, okay. So it's middle of the day. It's dark in the hallway for some reason, because they want to set the mood for how she's feeling, I guess.
Sure. All right,
so
fine.
she goes up to the roof and jumps off onto a car.
Yep.
I'm just gonna ask.
So, by the way, so easy. Roof access on a school is so easy, isn't it?
Sure.
Of course, no doors locked up there.
He just goes through like I said, Freddy Krueger land.
Yep.
So no, but I'm going to ask the educator. A person launches themselves, and I'm not making fun of that. Okay, but what I'm saying is that happens onto a freaking car in the parking lot.
Yep.
School continuing that day?
No. We're sending people home. Absolutely not.
They're still there.
No.
Barely acting as if it happened. Like it was like, you know, hey, just, okay. Seventh period still going on.
Hey, we got to get through these lessons, man.
Right.
We got curriculum to cover.
And then you get the douchebag who's filming everything, including girls' butts while they're at lunch. Yeah. Like literally walking behind them, and where she has to turn, can you stop filming my ass? Right? Yeah. And basically goes up to the body, films it, and says something stupid, like insensitive.
Yeah. That's what I mean. We're a level of scumbaggery that is you got to build up to that. You don't come in that hot. You're coming in hot, man.
I'm gonna move to that.
You don't let us like it's easier. It's almost like it's a better payoff if you let us grow to hate them,
or not know,
rather than just hate them right out of the gate.
If you don't know that they're jerks, and then you find out, then it's like, oh man. I'm not saying you have to find out at the last second, but build, let it build.
Yeah,
because it was brutal. It was like,
I know.
I was like, what is going? And like, why is school still open? They're all just sort of acting like it barely happened. That's pretty intense.
I like. It's pretty. Yeah, I would say they're gonna roll. And not only that, it's kind of a crime scene. Maybe because we don't know if she was thrown. We know she landed. Who knows if she was thrown? We don't know that. Could be a crime scene. So no, the cops are gonna absolutely and this. My God,
just out of compassion, send people home.
Yeah. I mean, school would be the next day, and there'd be about 500 counselors around the building. They'd bring in counselors from other schools to help out. There would be school the next day probably, but though many kids probably wouldn't show up just because. Yeah. But no way. There's no way. This movie, it's ridiculous out of the gate for that. The other thing is ridiculous. I don't know. Like back in the day, I know this is 99, and it keeps shoving 1999 down our throat. So again, our Rachel, our Carrie stand-in is very goth and Daria, and above all of it, and can't deal with stupidity of everyday life. Everyone's so stupid but me kind of situation, which I'm okay with. If that's your deal, fine. Whatever. It's Marilyn Manson's everywhere. 9 Inch Nails are everywhere. And I know that back in '99, we still had our film developed because smart cameras didn't really exist yet. If you worked in a photo lab, could you see every picture coming down the pike? Because she works in a photo lab, and that's where she intercepts the picture of the girl who jumped off the building and her boyfriend who used her in the photo lab.
I don't know. I know that they've done that before in a lot of other things.
They have? Okay.
Where the people can access it. Well, I imagine if it's in a package.
So let's go beyond that. What a coincidence that you work at the photo lab where the one piece of evidence that's going to link this person to that other person is where you happen to work. Come on. And then, you know what? If you want to try to... Your friend just died and you need some information from someone, like the jock. So the jock is trying to cover for the consigliere of the scumbags, goes to the photo lab to try to get the pictures of these two people together, and tries to coerce her to giving her the pictures first with a $20 bill, and that doesn't work. And then, if that didn't work, let's go right to sex. I'm gonna say that's probably not gonna work most of the time. Does he know who she is? Does he realize that she hates the jocks and all that sort of stuff? That really, you think that's gonna work?
He is so delusional from his success.
Okay, maybe.
He's always getting it. So
yeah,
why would she turn me down?
How?
It's out of my comfort zone, but why would she turn me down?
Oh God. So we haven't even talked about Rachel yet. So Rachel, our telekinetic, we meet at the beginning. She's very young. Her mother. Why did her mother go nuts?
She was painting the entire room. I think it's because painting a line around in red around the room. I guess
because.
I don't know. She knows her daughter's a telekinetic. And somehow that's going to keep the evil out. I'm not sure.
I mean, you could say maybe I don't think she's evil. I think she just has powers.
No, I'm talking about from the mom's point of view.
Oh, sure. I don't know.
She was
it just
seemed Lord, protect my daughter, Lord. Like she's like painting everything, and then slaps the sort of puts the red paint on her daughter's face when her daughter asks, "Can we just go to the other room and play?"
Yeah. So I mean, this movie has an unhealthy attitude towards high school cliques, I guess, right? Kind of uninformed reality about how different social circles interact at school. But we also have a problem with this movie. Doesn't really understand mental health, like, at all. Mom's nuts, and the police come to get Carrie. Mom ends up in the insane asylum. And in the insane asylum, which we go to visit Mom after, there's just people freely walking around, just like saying inappropriate things, it's like you might as well just have them in straitjackets and just mumbling to themselves. Like it was so not okay.
It was like 70s version of mental institution or something.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's 1999, right?
Yeah.
So is Mom nuts?
Yes.
Is Mom crazy?
Well, I mean,
I forget why.
Well, no, I mean, like, I don't know all the details, but I know when she was broken out by Sue Snell, she ended up going, "Oh, there's Mr. So-and-so on the side of the street." And he wasn't there. So there's something wrong. I don't know if that's because she's medicated, when she's getting hallucinations from that, or if she's actually kind of, out there. But
did you know it's really easy to sneak a person out of
just use gum.
An asylum? Oh, by the way, what asylum was she in?
I don't know.
What's the name of the asylum?
You'll have to tell me.
Arkham.
Oh, nice.
Like from Batman.
Right.
Batman. Arkham Asylum. Just straight up. I'm like, am I in the Batman universe suddenly? Arkham. Is Scarecrow going to be there? Like, what's happening? We didn't even bother. Arkham Asylum. I guess this movie takes place in Gotham. Is this Gotham High? What is happening?
I don't know, man. It's crazy.
It's not great. So we've brought up Sue Snell. So now we have to talk about why we shoehorned Carrie onto this movie, because it doesn't need to have a connection to Carrie. It really doesn't. It doesn't. But what it does is it tries to shoehorn. It's almost like a Xerox of a Xerox of a Xerox of Carrie itself, and then put in 1999. The only thing that links this movie to the other movie, the original Carrie, is Sue Snell. Sue Snell was one of the original bullies, and now she's a guidance counselor at the same high school to try to do, I think, seeming to do better, right? She wants to help people that are in crisis rather than be the cause of the crisis. So that's her role. Now, her role is guidance counselor. Guidance counselors don't give psychological advice. Guidance counselors tell you what classes you should be taking, what colleges you should be applying to.
She wasn't the school therapist.
No, she was not. She was a guidance counselor.
Dude, I'm telling you, I thought she was. I thought she was no, but because that's all she was doing.
I know. That's what it said on the door. Guidance counselor. Now, guidance counselor, you can go to your guidance counselor if you need to vent. Fine. But then they're going to refer you to the school psychologist if you have a real problem. Which she's giving her, like, remember the scene where she's asking Carrie questions to see if she would answer yes or no? And then she slips in, "Can you move shit with your mind?" I didn't say that, but
right.
You know what I mean? Well, that's one out of the blue. Those are like, I don't know, DSM-4. I don't even know. I'm not a psychologist, but it's like that is supposed to try to figure out what the mental health of the person is. Schools, guidance counselors don't do that. Okay, they just what class you want to take next semester? Well, you need some art credits. That's
no, but it was almost like I want to see if this person's a cannibal. So I'm gonna say, do you like chocolate cake? Yes. Do you like candy? Yes. Do you eat skulls?
No. If I know it, I'll get her on the skull question. I know I will. I'm gonna get her on the skull question.
Oh man,
that's funny. So here's the thing. So we're constantly. Oh, I got her. Do you like when you eat gingerbread men? Do you go for the feet first, or do you go for the head first? That's funny.
I'm sorry. You know what it is? I'm not laughing at my joke.
What?
I'm laughing at the idea.
Yes.
How she just sort of slipped in it.
Yeah, she did. Oh, by the way, do you have nightmares? No. Do you like puppies? No. Yes, I do. Do you listen to Marilyn Manson? Yes. Can you do shit with your mind? Yes. I mean, no. Oh, you got me.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Do dogs usually survive 2 sets of tires running? Because like her dog, a basset hound, freaking got run over by 2 sets of tires that was pulling a trailer.
Yep.
He was pulling a trailer, so he's already really heavy. Yep. And somehow the dog survived.
Yeah, he's okay.
His torso got run over. It wasn't like his foot.
And the movie gave us a nice audible thump thump.
Yeah. It was brutal. I'm glad he lived. However,
got run over by
I mean, like I felt better knowing that he was going to live, but it was just.
Oh sure.
It was brutal to watch, and it's like, why would they have him get hit that much? Like to where we had to watch it to know, because then it doesn't even feel real that he's living now because he really got nailed. You know what I mean?
They brought him to a 24-hour vet. Not sure how many of those are around, which would cost thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
If you just show up to a 24-hour vet with not an appointment, that's thousands of dollars. But we use the Basset Hound. So this is how responsible this movie is. We use the Basset Hound as a way for us to have a meet cute between Rachel and the nice football player. We actually shows that the football player has a heart by running over a dog. So that's nice. I mean, that's good. I mean, it's nice that he would have helped, but I mean, again, we've established this level of scumbaggery is at 100% for everybody else in the movie. So anybody under that must be a saint. Because any normal person would probably help, maybe, or maybe not go to the vet with them, but at least assist a little bit. You see someone in the middle of the road holding a unconscious dog, you're probably going to pull over and say, "Are you okay?" But so we now have feelings for this boy, and he turns out to be a reasonably okay guy, and he's not like the rest of the jocks because he won't get his ass slapped during a film breakdown of the during the middle of the movie. We have the football coach is talking to the rest of the scumbags. So I guess we're informing that this male toxicity goes up to the top, the head football coach, and embarrasses someone by slapping his naked ass in front of the entire football team.
No, even worse.
Well, what? What's he say?
Okay, so
tell me, Jay.
The top douchebag that we all hate throughout this movie.
Yeah.
Was talking during the film, like while they were looking at game film, and he says, "Oh, you want to interrupt? Drop trowel."
Yeah.
Turn around and drop trowel. Right. Yep. So he pulls his pants down. He's only wearing a jock strap, so his butt's completely exposed. The coach kneels down where he gets really, crouches down where he gets really close to the guy's butt.
You're right. I forgot.
He goes, "Oh, I'm just after that weak hit you did on last Friday night. I just wanted to make sure there's no tampon strings hanging out."
Lovely, good people. And he slaps his ass.
Hold on, somebody took a pen and put it to paper and wrote this scene.
Yep. Let's see. Tebity.
Yeah, I know.
Control
They
S.
didn't take a
Save.
pen.
I'm done for the day.
They did not take a pen. However,
Yeah.
they bothered to write that. Like, we were already drenched in douches, and now it's even worse. Like, it's like, I mean, it's really gross.
Jay, not only that, but the director had this printed, and then they went to edit it and said, yeah, we'll keep this in. We'll keep it in. You know what it has to do with the rest of the story, Jay? Nothing.
Except
we already know they're horrible people.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, you want to bring in the fact that football coach is horrible too, fine, but it's not necessary. So here's the thing. So this movie, like I said, is a Xerox of Carrie. So instead of a shower scene in Carrie, where a female gets embarrassed, we have a scene where a man gets embarrassed in front of the entire football team. In original Carrie, Brian De Palma does split screen, so it goes screen on screen, right? Whenever something's about to go down, when Carrie's about to use her powers, it goes split screen. In this movie, we don't go split screen, we go black and white, just to let you know that shit's gonna go down, right? So it can't get out of its own way. So
and some weird audio sound effect too.
Yeah, and there's an audio sound effect that lets us know, in case you weren't sure, when shit starts flying around, powers are being used now. I don't think they'll figure it out when stuff starts to fly around. Perhaps we should make it black and white. I think they'll figure it out now. The film thinks we're stupid. Again, we have so and like we're ramping up to the fact that Carrie's a loner. She finally finds somebody that she likes. Is she a virgin?
Yes. She
is. Okay.
She admits it to the guy that she confides in.
Right. So she likes this guy. He likes her. She likes him. They consent to rather, it's lovely. It's not gross. They don't show a lot of it, which is fine. I don't need to see that stuff. But it's not what's going on with the other sex scenes in the movie, which are in a car, like gross kind of that sort of thing.
All right.
So they're trying to have
can I pause that?
Go ahead.
We learn that she, doesn't want to just do it. She wants like a bit of romance in the sense that she does like him, but she kind of wants daisies being brought to her, and make it a little special.
And she asks this of him, and he says, "Okay."
Right.
And she respects. That's the only modicum of respect in this entire movie is that he respects her wishes. Yeah.
And you always, people, the way it's written so far, you do have to wonder if he's got ulterior motives. Like, is he, is he playing the nice guy so we can buy in along with her and then become a douche, but actually, you find out he's really nice.
And here's the thing, so they have this moment and the scumbag football coach lets them use his cabin, right? So he's trying to,
I think it's
he realizes jock. The jock guy, right?
Not the coach,
Yeah, not the coach, the jock. And basically the two of them have a falling out, and so the jock scumbag says, I'm trying to make amends, you can use my house if you're going to do this, no strings attached, but he's really setting him up. And so they go to the house, a nice romantic weekend, but from what a little bit of foreshadowing, the person that was using the video camera before to, film the butts and the dead people in the school, videos them in the act. And that's going to be our humiliation later. So it's not going to be pig blood, it's going to be this. And then we spend a lot of time where the shallow female friends set up Rachel that she's accepted now, and the football jocks try to bury the hatchet, pardon the pun, with the sensitive football kid, I don't remember his fucking name, so that we can set them up to humiliate them, right? And then once that's established, this movie, ramping up to the final scene, it slows right down. And did you check the run when you were watching this? Did you check the runtime at any point to see how much time you had left?
No, I don't think so.
Because I'm like, this is infuriatingly slow. Like and a movie's slow. Like if it's got no point, if it's just doing scene after scene, movies are slow. Like for instance, the second Transformers movie with that Revenge of the Fallen. This is one of the worst movies ever. And it takes forever. And the reason it takes forever is I've seen longer movies, but it has no point. It's just the scene after scene after scene that don't tie into each other. And it just takes forever. And once this movie established that we are eventually going to humiliate Rachel, and that we're going to set in the devices to humiliate, it takes forever. I kept checking the runtime, and I thought 15 minutes had gone by. 5. Like, how much runtime is left? Oh, 30 minutes. And I checked 5 minutes later and said, oh, you have 34 minutes left. Wait, how did I lose time? What's happening? It just seemed like it was stretching out when it didn't need to, because it didn't know where it was going. It just didn't need to do all of that setup. It was bad. It's bad. Let's talk about the humiliation. We eventually get to the end scene. We know it's coming. You know why? You know why we know, Jay? There's going to be a final scene where the lead character has telekinetic abilities is going to freak out. You know how we know we're going to have that scene? Yeah, it's called Carrie. That's how we know. Because the fucking movie's called Carrie when no one in it is named Carrie. Oh, rewind real quick. Sue Snell, who plays the only tie-in character from the original movie, is warning Rachel that she has these telekinetic powers and that she should probably hone them in. And how does she let her know that she got to be careful with this telekinesis?
Brings them to the broken down old gym.
The burned down high school that after 20 years, no one's torn down. Just bricks and wrought iron that's been melted into weird shapes just out in the open for anyone to crawl through. Children, homeless, just die.
It's like Woonsocket.
Yeah, it's like Woonsocket. Yeah, it's like all of Woonsocket, basically. Yeah, you're right.
You know how many places that look like that? Like we drive down and we go through Woonsocket.
You're right.
Well, destroy.
So anyhow, props to Woonsocket. Oh wait, no.
My birth home.
Yeah, well, we can say that because we live there, so we know. So anyhow, we're setting up to the final scene of humiliation. We're all in a party, and we think that Rachel thinks it. Well, go ahead, Jay.
No, this is big.
What?
Sue Snell has to tell.
Yeah, go ahead.
Rachel something that she learned from her biological mother.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That Carrie's father is also Rachel's father.
Right.
And to make it, for some dumb reason, they had to say the male is the carrier of the superpower that passes it down, because there was no connection with the mom, didn't have, and it was no relation to the other Carrie's mom, so they had to give some stupid explanation, because telekinesis is genetic.
They did some 23andMe on this shit, and they ran that genetic code through CRISPR. And they figured out, yes, it is carried on the recessive gene of the 23rd chromosome on the male side. What are you talking about? God.
It was not, I don't know, man. That was not a good enough explanation. They could have gotten together, had a couple meetings, and say, can we come up with a better reason? Yeah.
And you know what? They bring in Sue. She goes to the insane asylum to break mom out to go confront Rachel, at the end, and immediately Sue gets a harpoon in the face. They don't give her a chance to do anything.
She gets to the party, yes.
Yeah, she gets to the party and gets a harpoon a harpoon of all things. Okay, why are there harpoons in the pool?
When the door opens, they're both, a guy and her are on each side of the door.
Yeah. Oh, God. So...
By the way, can I just point out that you can't open a door if both people are standing? They both would have had to jump at the same time in order for the door to open, because feet would have been dragging.
You're right.
On the count of 3, we're going to jump.
Jump. And why am I going to jump in front of this door? Don't worry about it. Just do it. Just jump.
Sorry.
Jump 1, 2, 3, go.
I'm just laughing.
They can't see each other.
What's going on with these people? With these ideas.
Yeah. So, and here's the thing. So we have our humiliation scene, right? Which is what's going to really set Carrie off, or Rachel, Freudian slip, right? Rachel off. And the big thing is, someone in the Jock clan and the Shallow Girl clan videotaped the two having their intimate moment together, which in and of itself was not, It wasn't gross. It was just rather romantic, honestly. But it's humiliating. So not only do they show it at the party, it's broadcast on a screen, right? Like a film, like a projector.
No, they did something stupid. They shined the TV onto like a mirror, which shined it onto it projected it on.
Right. So we have it projected. We have it projected via mirrors.
I don't think that happens.
On 6 different places on windows.
Yeah,
by the way, they projected an image onto a window. You know what windows do to light? I don't know. I know you know some science. Let me tell you something from a scientific standpoint. When you project light onto a window, you know what the light does?
It passes through.
Mostly goes right through the window. That's why there are windows. You can see through them. Now, granted, they are translucent. It does reflect some light, but not enough to actually see an image on it. Projected from a screen, projected from a lens, I should say. And the other part is, you certainly, if you're going to reflect an image off of a mirror onto a window, you are losing a lot of information, bouncing images, scattering. Light scatters when you bounce it off of shit. I'm like, are they projecting it from 6 different projectors? That takes a lot of infrastructure. I don't think, it's so ridiculous. I understand they're looking for ultimate humiliation, but it's like, what?
They were already in a rich house. I know they didn't come out with flat screens yet, but they could have had a big TV that everybody was like pointing at.
Yeah.
The same effect. Mm-hmm. Like the humiliation would have been enormous if you just pointed, look at that TV.
Yeah. So Carrie, Rachel / Carrie, she has a thing where we didn't know until this point she has a tattoo on her arm. I didn't see it.
We did know that because her and her friend that jumped off the building.
Okay. All right. I forgot.
No, it's okay. She pointed to her friend's tattoo when she was dead, and she said "Best Bloods."
Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah, they had they had matching.
How could I have missed such an enriching detail of this story? So apparently, when she gets mad, she's like the Hulk, and the tattoo starts to beat like a heart up and down, which was cool. And the tattoo has vines coming out of it. But then, did you know that telekinetics can not only move shit with their minds, but they can do instant tattoo art and have tattoos just crawl and extend over their body like Poison Ivy and Batman, and just now it's game on. This is her rage mode, I guess. Beauty and the Beast, right? She's got rose thorns, but they're now she's really pissed off, and she's gonna burn the place down, which she does. You know, when you explode glass, it can fly across a room and behead people. Were you aware that glass could do that? It's crazy.
Well, CDs can kill everyone.
I know. That's right. I forgot. So 1990s, we had a CD murder scene. CDs fly. See, and that's why digital downloads suck. That's why physical media is great. You can't murder a bunch of people with digital downloads.
Right.
You need physical media for that. Which came first? Hellraiser 3 or this?
Hellraiser 3.
Hellraiser 3 is the one.
Early 90s, right?
Yeah, Hellraiser 3 is we had CD Cenobite at the end, where he killed people with CDs.
Okay.
I don't remember where that is. So
I never saw that.
You ripped off a shitty Hellraiser movie in order to get your final. It was terrible. Yeah. Anyway,
I just remember him doing like really, really sacrilegious stuff on the altar. Like
yes, yes,
really bad.
And here's the thing. Another, it's a Xerox copy of Carrie. We're doing the same thing but different. We had a humiliation scene with men but not women. We have the Brian De Palma split screen rather than split screen. It's back in black and white. The original Carrie ends with the base place burning down, but even though this place does burn down too, we have a section where there's water, right? So it's the same thing, but now we're not. Some of us aren't going to burn to death. We're going to drown. And there are harpoons. What? Why? Who has harpoons? Who has harpoons? Like for no reason. Have harpoons
ready to go. Right? I don't know much
loaded
about
and ready to go.
I don't know much about harpoons, but Imagine if they're sitting on the wall. Maybe they're not ready to.
Jay, it would have made more sense if it's a rich person house if they actually had rifles or shotguns or like a gun cabinet, like harpoons.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was not great.
Wait. Telekinesis can not only do what it's done already, but you see a point where she's mad at her boyfriend, and he's trying to say, "No, I really do love you."
Yeah.
And she's like in her rage, so she's not hearing it until on the TV, even though the place is on fire.
Oh, that's right.
He said he said I love you while she was asleep, and he said it, just in general, like he meant it on the tape. And then she was able to rewind it a bunch of times and then not only that, but zoom in.
Zoom in.
She kept zooming in, onto his face. It's like, wait, it changes camera angles on the videotape. I could barely adjust the tracking. Never mind zooming in.
Yeah, it's just not great.
Oh,
it's not great.
Wait.
What?
Let's end on the coda.
Okay. Oh yes. Oh God.
Which is terrible.
Fucking stupid.
So a year later, the jock, because Carrie dies. I mean, Rachel dies.
You do it too. You keep calling her Carrie.
Why not?
No.
She dies, and a year later, he's at college, and he's got the dog.
Yep.
And
a lot of colleges accept dogs.
Obviously, it's a dream.
Yeah.
She just steps through the window, barefooted. She just steps through the window of his college dorm. Now, he doesn't say, "What are you doing here? Oh my God, you're alive." He just starts making out with her.
Yeah.
Right? And then she backs up and then shatters like she's made out of clay, like hard clay.
Yep. Turns to dust.
And
then, but wait. We have the movie, he wakes up from whatever that dream was, because that was a dream. And he's standing in his dorm, which is a huge dorm, by the way. I don't know where he's going to college.
Square footage, man.
Holy shit. But in his dorm, he has a mirror across from a mirror. Because all dorms have that. A mirror across from a mirror, so that when he stands in front of it, it's like an infinity mirror. So he can see forever. And there's a sticker on the mirror that says something to the effect of, to the infinite, or end of the infinite, or what the fuck? Like, suddenly we are being artsy-fartsy at the end of the movie. Like, there's some sticker that's something poetic about infinity while he's standing in front of an infinity mirror after he had a dream about Rachel turning to dust. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? Now, I know if Melanie were here, I know this has an alternate ending. I do not care to look at it, find out what it was.
Oh.
Because there was an alternate ending. Okay. When I looked it up on what I streamed this on, there's like a director's cut. I'm sure it's much better. I'm sure they really went back and forth on trying to really grasp the artistic ending, to really encapsulate the emotion of the characters at the end of the movie. Get the fuck out of here. Not great. It's not great.
All right, let's do.
It's not good.
Let's do Final Judgment. I wonder I wonder how well it does.
I don't know.
It's time now for Final Judgment. Are you ready to rubber stamp this bitch?
Oh, yeah.
Here's the Final Judgment.
All right. A lot of people deserved Final Judgment in this movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they got
you want to go?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Nothing. No part of this holds up at all. Except that, the idea of wanting to see revenge while you're watching a movie. And that's just because everybody's so hateful and evil. But it's, like you said, there's no, it's like, I'm a jerk, like right out the gate.
Yep.
They're all jerks except for a couple people.
Mm-hmm. Not a lot of nuance in this movie.
No. It's just to get their thing across. It's like, here it is. It's very 90s, and it's not like, you know what I mean, like where you go, it's okay even though it's 90. It's not one of those where you go like, oh yes, got plenty of 90s, but it's still awesome.
Yeah.
Those dated movies like My Cousin Vinny, but you're still feeling great when you watch it.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's from a while ago, but it still feels good when it's over. You know what I mean? Like, wow, you know, that really took me on a journey. This didn't take me anywhere.
Yeah, no, it did not.
It was bad. So it's not, like I said, you can, you know, say a movie's bad and still holds up. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Yeah, I would say it doesn't hold up. I would say was this in the theater? This is in the theater.
I want to say it was.
Yeah,
it felt big budget in a way.
A little bit.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
Certainly.
Like enough to be in the theater. It didn't feel like a home video release.
I think I think if I had to say that today, this would be like a direct to video or direct to streaming. I think it's a shame that I don't know that I like the original movie Carrie that much anyway, but obviously it's iconic. It doesn't necessarily mean it's in my wheelhouse. No, it doesn't hold up because it's got so many 90s tropes in it. Like you said, we were I think you texted it to me. It's horror American Pie. Mm-hmm. Like it's all of American Pie. And American Pie,
from American Pie.
Yeah, you're right. Right. So you can think American Pie doesn't necessarily hold up either. And certainly, I'm not saying if you liked it, it might still be funny. It's still got funny moments, but that whole genre doesn't necessarily exist anymore. And here you're trying to shoehorn a horror movie onto American Pie, and it just doesn't. That's not a thing anymore. Like, no one gives a shit. I can see them. I can see the elevator pitch. Not that you mention it, like the elevator pitch in Hollywood, saying, "Okay, American Pie, but horror." I'm like, shit. People love American Pie. We should make that, and then they make it, and it's just so ill. The whole idea is so ill-conceived.
Well, and today, like, let me jump a little bit on to what you're already saying. Today, you know, from what I've learned, that, you know, it's not, you know, from what you've said in the past, jocks don't run the school like they did. You know what I mean? Like, they're popular. Yeah. You know, they're popular, but not like the only thing.
Right.
You know? Like, so, like, there's different worlds. Everybody's, I would say, you know, for the most part, there's a lot more acceptance.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's got to be exceptions to that somewhere, but
there's more acceptance today. You know, everything was back then. It was just black and white. Like, you know, you're cool or you're not. There's no in between.
But even then, like, this is towards the tail end of that. We're going into the 2000s. You know, I mean, I know that was 25 years ago, but like, I don't know. I think we were on the slow track to acceptance, right? So it was certainly a lot different since 1990 or 1989 for that matter. But yeah, I don't know. It's just there's no place for a movie like this anymore.
It was gay slurs, right? I'm pretty sure I remember some.
Yeah.
Like using that.
I mean, that's neither here nor look.
Yeah,
Jay, no. Here's the thing. I watched. My wife and I have been rewatching Star Trek movies 1 through 6, and I've been kind of mentioning them on Facebook and my own little critiques, right? And we watched Star Trek 4, and it's of its time. It's the most successful Star Trek movie, and it's silly as fuck, and it's barely a Star Trek movie, really. It's just them doing goofy shit. But at one point, they have Chekhov. The U.S. Navy has arrested Chekhov for trying to steal uranium from a aircraft carrier, right? So here they're interrogating him, and he keeps saying, like, I am Pavel Chekhov from the year 2030, whatever. My Starfleet number is blah, 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 blah. And the investigator, I'm sorry, I'm going to say the word. The investigator goes to the FBI, goes to somebody else, goes, what's this guy's problem? He's like a retard or something? And you hear it, and you go, like that. But in 1987, it was like, nah, he said that.
85,
whatever.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, whatever it is. So you have to leave that word in so that you can go, ooh, we've progressed since that, haven't we? Right? The fact that you didn't blink an eye back in the day, but now you go now and you go, oh, maybe, I don't know, right? You leave those in. But in Carrie, like, it's such a sub movie anyway that it doesn't really matter. It's not a blink on the cosmic scale of movies. It doesn't really matter. So anyway, the movie stinks. It doesn't hold up. It's not even entertaining to watch. I wouldn't even recommend it. There's nothing necessarily there's nothing good about it. Sorry. It's just not. It stinks. So there you go.
No apologies to me.
Yeah.
I'm all set.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's a never again for us.
Nope.
I'm glad I saw it.
I don't feel dumber for watching it. It was just like, it was
irrelevant.
It's just, yeah, that's a great word. That's a great, relevant, movies that try to be relevant and and are stupid make me feel dumber for watching it. And this movie is absolutely irrelevant.
No, it makes you mad when you're watching it, but you're not walking around getting pissed about it. It's just like, yeah,
that was bad.
Yeah, thanks for nothing.
Yep. Thanks for nothing.
All right.
If I get a point system for this movie, it would be like 2 points, man.
Yeah.
I used it, I watched it, I threw it away.
You opened my black book.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't pay money for this one.
A dumbass movie. 2 points for a dumb movie.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's our coverage of the movie The Rage, Carrie 2. Once again, a sequel that nobody asked for.
Nope.
Hope you enjoyed that, though. Hopefully you just use our analysis of it and don't go out and watch it yourself.
Mm-hmm. Watch one of like the 1,000 Amityville horror remakes.
Yeah, the Amityville.
Like watch those because they're just as bad. They don't try to be good.
In space.
I'm gonna watch one of these. I am watching Amityville in space one of these days.
Dude,
I swear to God.
It looks. I could probably film something better. Like it looks that bad.
Whatever.
Like I don't know. Just so. Anyways, I'd like to thank Steve Lavoie for our vocal imaging and for Draco and the Malfoys for our theme music. And we hope to see Melanie next time. And hopefully we will get to Friday the 13th, Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan. Or Jason Takes
Start spreading the news, Jay. Start spreading the news. He's leaving today.
Jason
from that lake, from a boat in a lake all the way to New York. All right.
Yeah. All right. We're going to have some fun with that. All right.
Yep.
Well, that's it, folks. Have a great time, great week. And movies may not age like fine wine, but we drink it anyway. Bye.
Sounds like what we think about the movie. Film crickets, chirping about movie crickets, chirping about, chirping about, chirping about, chirping, chirping, chirping about film crickets, chirping about movie.